Hello everyone. I just want to get some messages for you. Hope everyone is well. Please take these messages only if they sound familiar, okay? Please use your discernment when using tarot, okay? Tarot is not a professional doctor, health check or guidance counselling. These are just messages from the universe to you. Today we will be talking about higher self, okay? Higher self is the person that you would like to become, I guess. Your higher self is also your inner guidance, something that guides you towards a specific destination, goal, something like that. So I'm going to use the Witch's Rune Oracle cards to start with. To see what this is. So we're just going to read an oracle card first. There is a download about emotional mastery at the moment, not to let your emotions guide you, to stay emotionless, okay? Don't think negative, don't think positive about a situation at this moment, especially while Mercury is still in retrograde up until I think about the 23rd of July. So just to kind of stay neutral about situations, people, places, things, okay? Keep your opinions kind of close to your chest, okay? So we've got Athala. So this is the crab. This is the crab rune. It's like a hermit crab. So this could also be telling you to kind of go into hermit mode with what we're talking about, with kind of introspection at this time is very important. This is messages from the universe, from the ancestors, and from our higher selves, okay? So in mastering emotional skills could be important to people at the moment. Home could be important, the home, your comforts. You could be clearing out at the moment, making space for new things, having declutters, that type of thing. You could be feeling like you're kind of nesting, like you feel something's coming but you're not quite sure what, and for you to like make way for these certain types of things is going to require you to be at home, declutter, introspection, this type of thing. Could be something to do with your prosperity as well, like your internal prosperity, not necessarily abundance, okay? We're not really talking monetary. I mean, it could mean monetary, but more so the happiness that you'll gain from being with yourself, knowing yourself and looking internal. Kind of, if you look external, it's kind of like a dream, but if you look internal, this is your reality, this is you, okay? This is who you are. Now these are messages from your ancestor, and the Athala card came out, and the Athala card does actually signify ancestors. So we are on the right track here. We know that we are in alignment here with this Athala card coming out. So yeah, definitely something about internal introspection, prosperity, this type of thing. Thoris says, yeah, you could be at the moment wanting to take a battle to somebody, but try not to do that, okay? This is where we're saying emotional maturity, okay? Not feeling bad, not feeling good about the situation, just feeling straight kind of, look, I don't really want to have an opinion at this moment until you're sure about the situation, something like that. This is Thurisaz, so this is the wolf card, okay? So yeah, Thurisaz can signify conflict, okay? Defense. Even when you are defending yourself, sometimes it can look like you are attacking, okay? But you're not necessarily attacking, okay? But sometimes when you defend yourself, it can look like you're attacking, okay? The next card that came out was Degas. So this is the butterfly card. So we had Athala, which is the home, which is the turning introspect, which is learning your heritage, who you are, this type of thing, being one with yourself. Thurisaz is the wolf card. This is signifying defending, yourself, and could mean trying to stay away from attacks and this kind of thing. And then we had, or conflicts, should I say, that could be quite potent at the moment. And then we had Degas, which so enlightenment, balance point, transformation and awakening. So this is kind of what you're leaning towards at the moment, is the transformation, the awakening, the significance of introspection. Like I was saying, like looking internal is reality. This is the real you. This is what's really happening. Looking external, thinking into the future, is more like a dream. Okay, what we want at the moment is what Spirit's telling us is to be present in the moment. Okay, there can be some kind of things that can benefit us from being present in the moment. Oh yeah, sorry about that. So yeah, there's some transformation that's taking place at the moment within you. So yeah. Sorry, my son just woke up then, so I just see what he was doing. So yeah, something about mastering your emotions at the moment. Maybe you could be, investing in yourself. We got Tewaz, so investing in yourself. Kind of not listening to external noise, kind of realizing that what you need comes from within. Trying to kind of, okay, so sometimes, okay, so with this sword being here, okay, this is some type of sacrifice, okay, the eagle is holding a sword, but it's like it's passing the sword to you. And you've got to get this sword and you've got to cut the people off that are not for you anymore, people that are not honouring you anymore, people that may be trying to sacrifice you or make you distrust, or kind of just some kind of dishonour here. The loyalty level, this is with the swords being here, okay, this is like loyalty, victory. So to get a loyal victory, or to be loyal to yourself, you have to cut off certain energies and things like that that are not serving you anymore. And this is the justice that you'll be serving yourself. Is your victory will be to yourself, because the justice that you will be serving to yourself, and the victory will come through you giving yourself loyalty, if that makes sense. And that's very important. I did get a download. It said, I think the fuck not. So I think like someone's trying to kind of emotionally do something to you, and your spirit team is literally saying, I think the fuck not. This will not be happening. So we had Urus. So this is the bull. So Taurus energy could be significant. And this is the moon card, Manas, with a meerkat there. So yeah, with this bull energy being here, it's like a strength, okay, power, endurance. So you're having to endure the painful things that you are going through by cutting people off, to give yourself justice and loyalty so that you can honor yourself. And when you're cutting people off, this is causing you to feel some kind of endurance, that you're having to endure something. And the Manas card. So yeah, this is this is showing humanity towards yourself. I know that sounds weird, but the Manas card says humanity, okay? This is you being emotionally intelligent. This is you being fearless, okay? And awareness. So this is what we're talking about, self-awareness, higher self, where we need to be, what is our goals, this type of thing. And to get to these goals, we're finding, probably many of you, that you're having to cut certain people, places or things off. And this could be causing you some type of affliction. Okay. So yeah, you might be having to find some kind of courage with regards to doing this socially, maybe even being socially accepted, cutting off people, places or things where you are not socially accepted, not putting yourself through the heartache of trying to be incorporated in something that is not accepting you. Okay, standing on your own. This is where the introspection is going to come into play. So I'm going to clarify these cards now. So yeah, I wonder what the ancestors have to say about this. I'm just going to check what the ancestors have to say about this. So remember, we've got the sword card here, Tewas. So this is the cutting off of energies. This is the being loyal to yourself, okay? Making a sacrifice that will honour your and give justice to yourself. Yeah, happiness and joy. Because this is what we're aiming for, okay? We're aiming for happiness and joy. Because we don't want to be in this low vibration with this awakening happening, the transformation that's happening, the balance point. What is the balance point? You're finding the enlightenment at the moment with some type of breakthrough, and this is where you're kind of finding that the happiness and joy, where you feel that effect, is where it's leveling off. Like people can kind of make you feel anxious or nervous, or like you kind of can't do things on your own, and this is kind of the illusion that we get put under. Yeah. Light and love. Because ultimately this is what we want for ourselves, okay? We want light and love, and I think people might not like it if you are kind of giving yourself this kind of love, this kind of attention, giving yourself your flowers. And if you notice, both of these women are holding lotus flowers, okay? Look, she's holding a lotus flower up to the stars, and she's holding a lotus flower on her sacral chakra and her solar plexus, with the Om being here. Because this is the balance, this is the peace. So both of them are holding lotus flowers in different positions, okay? The universe is giving her happiness and joy, and maybe the earth is giving her the love and the light. Maybe, I don't know. That's how I see that. So yeah, so now I'm going to pull some tarot. Now we've got the basis to work with. Sorry that my stream did cut off. But yeah, anyway, is what it is. Not much we can do. So, we're just going to find out how we see our challenges with this cutting off this energy and the strength that we're having to find to kind of be emotionally intelligent. Okay, so what decisions do we need to make? What decisions do we need to make, please, Spirit? What decisions do we need to make? So yeah, it's a tricky situation. Or this could be a decision that you're having to do to cut off the trickery, okay? There's some kind of wish fulfillment that you're going towards. Some kind of energy has kind of fizzled out. It's the Magician reversed. The energy is fizzled out. There's no element of surprise in this. You know this. You know who you have to cut off here. There's no you know who you have to cut off here. This will be very clear to you. It will be the first person that you think of in your head, and it could help you celebrate a new bright beginning. Okay, 555 could be significant, or 5995, old life completion. Okay, so there's, yeah, some kind of trickery that it's either a tricky situation okay, you trying to cut this person off, okay, or it's someone is planning to try and trick you to emotionally manipulate you, but you are going to be the emotional master when it comes to this. You're not going to think, you're not going to see, you're just going to kind of go with it. King of Wands. So this is the manifestations coming in. So it could be someone who's got blue or green eyes with red hair. Blue or green eyes with red hair. But this is an older situation, okay? This is maybe this is something that's been going on for a while with this person. It does say ambitious as well. Yeah, so I think like what's happening is the person who was trying to emotionally manipulate you has kind of run out of choices here. You could also be feeling like you want to kind of take the fight to somebody. You could kind of feel like you want to be outspoken. You feel restless with regards to this situation, like you're not happy how it's sitting with you. All you want is love and light, peace and joy. And this person is kind of taking that away from you and kind of stealing the light from you. And you may not be too happy, but you know who this person is. And I think what's happening is that there's probably not going to be many more choices. How do we see the challenge? How do we see the challenge? As the Hangman. So this person is just kind of hanging around in the wind, okay? But you are getting stronger. So either this is that person and they're kind of stagnant energy, or this is you and you're getting stronger in yourself, okay? You've been back and forth with this situation to cut this person off with regards to the sacrifices that you're having to make to give loyalty to yourself so that you can have a victory within, okay? The strength that you're having to show to go through this process, okay, could be really destroying your heart, okay, in all honesty. But you are no longer under the illusion kind of thing. It's like the illusions wore off and you're now learning the intelligence and the awareness that you need to give, I said this earlier, to give humanity to yourself. Be humane to yourself. Look, put yourself out your misery. I think that's basically what Spirit's saying. Because you're delaying your life, okay, the Hanged Man. So there's some delays in the life here with this situation that's happening. And now you're realising and understanding that it is time for you to be in peace and happiness, love and light and joy. And you're realising that you are going to have to cut people off to get this. Okay? So yes. I mean, you know, I could be talking to a male energy with the King of Wands being here. Male or female, it doesn't matter. You know, you could be a female, like kind of, because you are having to cut people off and stand your ground and defend yourself, and being that, you know, you could find you are being in a bit more of a masculine energy. One card did turn over in the deck. It's X. So it's a swan with a moon, and it says Gebo. Gebo, G-E-B-O. So these are the Elder Firtharp rune cards. So this card signifies, I'm going to read it, gifts, sacrifice, fair exchange and honor. So this is where you're giving yourself this fair exchange. You know, you're realizing that, you know, you do want the happiness and the joy, and you don't want to be defending yourself from your person or your family or your friends. It's like you can't be bothered with it. So now it's like, okay, here's the eagle with the sword, the card that we had here. Here's the eagle with the sword. So the eagle is giving you the sword. The eagle is giving you the courage and the strength to cut these people off so that you can become the person that you need to be. So yeah. you know, I think it is really important when we are going through these things to kind of invest in ourselves and make sure that we are kind of being aware, self-aware of our emotions. Because if we do let our emotions get the better of us, it can cause arguments. And this is why you may be feeling like you want to take the fight to somebody, but it's very important to not do that. You must keep it within yourself, keep your balance. You know, this is where it's leveling out. The balance is leveling out because you're not exchanging. Because if you're giving emotionally, this is an exchange. So yeah, you're mastering your emotions at the moment. I keep getting this. I think the fuck not. It keeps coming up. Like my spirit is just keeps saying, I think the fuck not. I don't know why it keeps on saying it. It just keeps. I keep looking at it. Right. I'm gonna see what it means, spirit, because I think it's important. Because I think like. I think this is a protection, okay? I think this is a protection from your spirit team, from your ancestors. They're literally saying, I think the fuck not. It ain't happening. And this is why your spirit team are giving you the strength to cut these energies off. Oh my gosh. Emperor came straight out. So yeah, could be some type of Emperor energy that you are stepping into. I did say I could be speaking to a male figure because the King of Wands was here. King of Wands are very passionate, very good looking, attractive, older men. Yeah, normally with like light brown, ginger hair or green or blue eyes. Okay, so this could, I mean, put yourself where you go, it's, no. But yeah, you could be really protecting. Look, your spirit team is protecting you from heartbreak. Your spirit team is helping you to protect yourself from heartbreak. Okay? So you're releasing the pain. You're releasing with kindness. You know, you're realizing that you take no shit, but you do no harm. And this is where you're kind of mastering your emotions because you're not letting it kind of destroy you. You're not going to be in the stagnant energy. So I've got two different energies coming out now. Something is lacking in the completion. So we got Libra here twice. So releasing the pain, okay, releasing everything with the justice. So this is where you're getting your justice through the releasing of the cutting the people off, the places, things that are, you know, hindering you, making you feel worse, this kind of thing, so that you can gain stable ground and be dependable on yourself. The World card reversed, I think like this is another energies kind of, I think this is what the Spirit's telling you, this is the ops. I think people are trying to do this to you because they lack completion or burden in their own life. They have some type of burden in their own life where it's kind of major choices, unions, partnership, relationship. And I feel like you're kind of releasing this love situation, okay? Because it's no longer serving you. And it's probably really, really broke you down to realise that people, friends, family and partners have kind of gone against you in this type of way, so that, you know, you feel like they're not benefiting you, and because you're not fitting in with them or they're not benefiting you and stuff like that, it's like you're finding the control, you're being practical about, you know, okay, I need to get my own stability, I need to get my own dependability, and this is how I'm going to do it, is by cutting people off. And unfortunately, this is what we have to do. We have to cut people off. And I think this is why Spirit, I keep getting the message, I think the fuck not. Because Spirit is not letting these people get you. He's not letting, you could have a male spirit guide. I don't know why I said he, and the Emperor is here, so you could be male. But like I said, if you are cutting people off in this structural energy, protecting yourself, you could be standing in Emperor energy. With Libra being here as well, twice, Aries is the opposite of Libra. So it could all be significant together. But yeah, there's some kind of pushy or demanding person here who's kind of bullying the situation. This person could be attached to an Emperor, a Queen of Wands reversed. It could be a Leo. A Leo could be attached to an Aries here in this situation. Libra's getting justice, and Gemini or another air sign, could be Gemini, but they are in the burden or the lack of completion of a love situation. So where do we stand in all this? Because there's like lots of energies. So where does the collective stand? So we've got the King of Pentacles reversed. This is some extortion going on. You could be being extorted for your energy, for your powers, for the gain. This is telling you to go into hermit mode. It's time to go introspect. You can't let people know what's going on now. If these attacks are occurring to you and you're finding that you're having to cut people off to honour yourself, to be the person that you need to be in this type of thing, and you are cutting people off because they are being corrupt, they're not giving you the respect that you need. It's not even demand. They're just literally being disrespectful with the slander and all this type of thing. You know, they're not being truthful, they're not being honest, they're not standing in their integrity, and this is where the justice is going to come in and bite them in the bum, because there will be consequences for their actions. All you need to do is make sure that your money and your love life is not spoken about and protected, and then the life lessons that you're learning is where you're going to go in hermit mode, so that you can gain you can contemplate and introspect. So this is what Spirit's telling you. Escape. Look, release. Spirit's telling you escape and release in hermit mode. This is where you're going to find it. You're going to soul search, okay? You're going to find your self-reflection, enlightenment. This is really quite exciting if you do this for yourself, because this is where the awareness is going to come in, the higher self. The awareness and the higher self is going to come in, because it's going to give you options, okay? You're taking the control back from this energy here, from this energy here, from this energy here, and this one here. You know, you're going to, by going in hermit mode, you're going to take all your control back, because nobody's going to have access to you at this point, okay? So yeah, you're going to be escaping. You're going to find solutions to the problems within. This is what we were saying about, you know, when you think of outside problems, think about the future and stuff. It's a dream. When you're turning introspect and you're looking inwards, this is the reality. This is the hard truth. And then you Page of Pentacles, you know, so then it could start getting good news in earthly matters. You could find that things start changing for you quite rapidly after, when you do go in hermit mode and you do start gaining the inner guidance, which steps to take, you know, soul searching, this type of thing. We did have Virgo energy twice. So yeah, investment. And this was the other download that I got as well, which is quite weird. So on my piece of paper, it says investment. And this is where the investment is. It's going to be the Page of Pentacles, Virgo energy. You're going to start going introspect, okay? You're going to start laying the foundations. This is where you're going to take time to kind of reflect on yourself and then reflect on your inner awareness. And then your prospects will start kind of ramping up and things like that, because you're going to start, I guess, developing a plan, a clean slate. You're going to kind of go from there. And this is, I've just found this so weird, that this is the investing in yourself to find the solutions that you need for the achievements that you want to gain. So yeah, if you are going through cutting people off and things like that, you know, it is not easy. And it's important to have patience, Page of Swords, patience. This is where you're going to start to give yourself the truth. And this is where it's telling you, excuse me, This is where it's telling you to think before you speak, okay? Not to get drawn into the arguments. Look, the pages are giants at the end of the day. People discredit pages to be something, but they are very significant. Pages are very significant. They don't always mean childish. They don't always mean young or silly. You know, pages are very important at the start of a journey, like a small seed that's going to grow, okay? This is where it's going to grow into a tree. This is where it's going to grow into the thing. And the spiritual transformation is going to come along. This old life is going to be completed, okay? This old life is going to give you the transformation. And I wrote transformation down earlier. Look, it's all matching up. I wrote transformation down on the card. How are we going to get there? Death, transformation. The old life, the old cycle is going to complete itself. The endings are going to happen, and towers will cause change, and it's unexpected or expected. I mean, by the looks of this, you know who this is. You know what's going on here. You know this is insecure. Okay, I was going to say not secure or unsecure, but insecure. Could be, and this could be where the disruption is lying as well, because of the, I just shuffled them the wrong way, but I'm going to take them. Chariot, this is where the forward movement's going to come in, okay? This is Cancer energy now coming out. The number 7, lucky number 7, yes, victory, overcoming obstacles, the success, the ambition. You're going to be really determined to do this, but it is really going to hurt your heart, because you're going to have to move forward. The fear of moving on from this stagnant, I was going to go on one then, stagnant, monotonous energy is going to break your heart, and it's going to really rip it open. But you just can't hold on to it anymore, because it's just not serving you. It's just not going to benefit you. It's not going to gain you anything. It's not going to go nowhere. The disconnection has already happened, and you know who this person is that this has happened with. And with this moving on from this past issues and things, it is really going to break your heart. But you're not willing to accept that this is all that it's going to be. Your willpower is more stronger. Your strength is growing, and you're going to have the encouragement or the courage to make the right choices within this situation. So yeah, you're just unhappy in the situation, and then the love and light is coming in, and this is where they're discrediting you from the love and light, or they're kind of holding it back from you, or trying to take your light. You know, maybe in this friendship or this people, places, things, family members, this type of thing, there was so much opportunities that you could have had with this person, and this could also break your heart as well, because now you're realizing that everything you poured in to the person or to the thing was, you know, gone. The potential for this is now wasted, so to speak, and it's going to cause an unhappy home. Even if you stay in this, you know, you're going to have to find the self-esteem. You're going to have to find the self-belief to gain your vitality back. And this is where you're going to go. Spirit's telling you to go into hermit mode at this point to do this. But yeah, you've got assistance and you've got support. We've got the 6 of Pentacles reversed. You have got assistance and you have got support. And Taurus energy, so strength. We can embody any energy at any time, okay? It doesn't mean just because, say, Libra's here that there's a problem with a Libra. Taurus is here twice, both in the reverse. But this is because this is where you're gaining your strength, okay? This is where you're finding that things were unsuccessful. This is you realizing, not all cards when they come out in the reverse is like, oh my God, it's so bad. No, it can mean that this is where you're realizing that you ignored red flags, that you didn't pay attention when things were going, that you turned a blind eye. But this is where you're realizing now that this is where the change is going to happen, so that you can overcome this depressive state, so that we can overcome this anxiety, this pain, this releasing. But we're going to do it, remember, take no shit, do no harm. So we're going to release it with forgiveness and stay optimistic, because if you stay optimistic, you're going to realize ultimately that things might work out better than you ever planned, you know. So yeah, I think that's what the I think the fuck not was about. Like I said, I kept on getting the download, I think the fuck not, and it was like bothering me as to why I needed to know that information. And yeah, Spirit's just clarified that, I think, as to the reasons why we need to kind of not really care so much. So yeah, you know, it always kind of baffles me as well when we're going through these situations, how much we'll actually allow people to put us through and annoy us and you know, to press our buttons and to tip our scales and that type of thing. It's always amazing to me how far we'll let people push us before we kind of realise that we're done. And it's kind of that thing of where you think, I mean, I'm not going to deny it yet. I'm just going to keep going with it. And you kind of make excuses. Denial is one of the grief processes that we go through when things end, you know, or when we're getting towards a new stage. Denial. We deny ourselves. We deny that it's even happening. We take our minds off it. We go out and drink and hustle and do whatever, you know, just anything, work or friends, just to take our mind off of what we're going through. And I think at this time it's really important that we do go introspect, into hermit mode, and just realise, you know, that you can build these things from scratch on your own. The only thing that will hurt, obviously, is the heartbreak and things like that. Realising that people weren't in your corner, realising that people weren't there for you when you really needed them, realising that you have always been on your own and you've never been accepted. And these types of things can really, really hurt you. So yeah, it's important that we kind of give ourselves some compassion at this point when we are going through this, so that we can believe in ourselves again and realize that we are enough. Yeah, ego. So the ego, this says identity crisis, survival protects you from psychological suicide. So the ego will protect you from psychological suicide. This is where your ego is telling you it's okay. Don't be vulnerable. Don't open up, because you're going to get hurt. You're going to get injured. You're going to be weak. Okay, this is where your ego is telling you, so this is how you're surviving. But once you let that go and you realize that, no, actually, okay, it doesn't make me weak to open up. It makes me a human being. And I'm not scared to be vulnerable. I'm not scared to survive on my own. Look, honor yourself. Okay, honor yourself. Treat your own needs and values with respect you give to others or give away. So this is where it's really important to honor yourself. Give yourself the same respect that you give away. Why do you treat other people better than you treat yourself? Why do you say nice things to other people and not say nice things to yourself? Okay? Yeah, caring too much about what looks like to others instead of focusing on the actual issues or the relationship that's happening. So yeah. You know, your mind will protect you from psychological suicide, because the last thing that it wants is to disrespect itself. Your mind doesn't want to disrespect itself, and you know, you need to treat it's like honor yourself. So treat yourself with as much care as you give away. And it says it here twice. It says treat your own needs and values with the same respect you give away. And then it says here, you're caring too much about what it looks like to other people. So you care too much about what things look like to other people. But your vibration is high. You know, you're giving such good positive energy out that it's causing people to be emotional. You're probably triggering a lot of people right now. You could be triggering a lot of people, I'm not going to lie, because it's not even ego. People think it's the ego, but it's not. You've dropped the ego and you've realised, you know, that you're going to master these emotions on your own. And it's just you saying, look, I'm kind of going in hermit mode at the minute. It's no offense to anybody. I'm not cutting you off per se. I'll be back, but I'll be back when I'm feeling more stronger, more positive, more about myself. You know, this is your inner peace. Your inner peace is very important. And also, if you're not around a lot of people, the ego can't play a part either because it has no one to play to. Manage fear without armor. Be vulnerable. That's what I'm saying. The ego literally will stop you from being vulnerable because it will tell you that you're going to be hurt, you're going to get injured, you're going to be weak. They're going to find the flaws and the whatevers, and they're going to come for you and things like this. But this is where it doesn't matter, because you're going to manage your fear without the armor, and this is where you're going to be vulnerable. So opening up to yourself to vulnerability. So look, you can open yourself up to get hurt if you're strong enough to do so in the first place. So it's also a case of filling your cup, okay? Making sure that you are emotionally balanced, making sure that you're peaceful within, making sure that you're able to kind of cope with other people's energy, because sometimes maybe at the minute you're kind of not really wanting to cope with a lot of other people's energy because it's distorting. It's affecting you, it's affecting your vibrations, it's affecting your inner peace, and this is where you're cutting people off, and it could be triggering a lot of people because you're kind of like not playing the game, if you like. I think is what it's like trying to say. You're kind of not playing the game anymore. So where am I going to go? Let's see. I'm going to get some animal oracles for a minute. My stream did get cut off in the beginning, so I do apologise about that. Hey, Shawnee. Shawnee Nielsen. Hello. 531. Cole TBS. Hi, everyone, anyway. Thanks for joining. Please like, share and subscribe if you do like what I'm saying. A card just flicked out there. Yeah, the dragonfly. You could be seeing a lot of dragonflies at the minute. Anybody could be seeing a lot of dragonflies at the minute. It says, glittering and fluttering fairy of light, show me the way to the deepest desires. Joy and understanding, expression. So this is where you're expressing yourself. You're finding the joy in yourself. Managed fear without armor, be vulnerable. What's that one? So the dragon card came out. Yeah, figures. So the dragon card came out. So yeah, this is honor yourself. Look, manage fear without armor, dragon. This is where you're going to be individual, because you're not going to be bothered about what it looks like to other people on the outside. This is what you're cutting off. This is what you're ending. And you're going to find that it's going to give you good fortune with honor to yourself, with respect to yourself, with giving yourself the time and the energy that you would give to others. You're just going to turn it inwards. We've got the tranquil turtle. So yeah, this could cause some enjoyment. Okay, you could have to endure quite a lot whilst going through this transformation, but what you're going to do is connect to the earth. This is where you're going to connect to yourself as well, with the positive vibes. Connecting to yourself is really important when you are trying to kind of navigate relationships and things. And we've got the serpent, sage, so eloquence. Okay, you're going to do it eloquently. Okay, you're not going to do it brash. This is where people are going to start splitting. This is where you're going to start triggering people, because people are going to start saying, oh, look how she thinks she is, or look at her ego, or blah, blah, blah. But what they're not realizing is what you've been through to get to this point. This is what they don't realize, what you have been through to get to this point. The ego has nothing to do with it. You've literally gone through so much in your life that now it's time for you to turn the wise information, the wise words, or something like that, whatever. Spirit just said information. So yeah, turn the information that you hold within to honor yourself, to give, take your own advice, so to speak. So what's this caring too much about what it looks like to others? So yeah, it's kind of the prosperous pig. Okay, so you kind of want people to look at it and say, oh, look, they look rich, they look fortunate, they look fertile, they look prosperous together. But, really in reality, it doesn't really matter what people think. Kind of, if you're going through this regeneration, the only thing that's really going to matter to you is loyalty. And you're going to be whimsical. You're going to get through this by being funny, by being yourself, by being individual. That's how you're going to get through it. And you're going to realize that, you know, the value. Look, teach me the value of family and friends. You're going to realize who the people are who stick around. After this happens, you're going to realize who the people are who stick around after this happens. And the people that stick around after are going to be the ones who will prosper with you. Okay, these are going to be the people that are going to stick by your side. It's going to show you the real from the fake. I'm telling you, this is going to show you the real from the fake. And this says sensitive sloth, so tolerance. Your tolerance for bullshit is going to lower. You're not going to tolerate the same type of bullshit that you have been tolerating. You know, you're realizing that the change is coming and you're changing, and you're going to start noticing little things that people say or people's actions or the way that people treat you, and you're going to be like, no, and cutting people off. And this is where you're going to honor yourself and stand in your power, and people are not going to like it. We've got the plucky possum. So the possum here says, secretly strong and seemingly simple one, show me the way of strategic gameplay. See? The gameplay. You're going to have to play the game, but you're going to play it differently. You're not going to play it the same. And maybe this is why people won't be, you're going to have to stand in your integrity, because people are going to try and knock you off. They're going to try and make out like, oh, you're not who you say you are. And you're going to like have to strategize through it sensibly. Sensibly strategize throughout this thing. What's this? The sassy skunk. I don't know why I'm laughing. Spirit team's cruising. They're like, yeah, go. They're excited. Right, this is carefree critter of the woods. What does that say? Grab the attention of all those around you. Grab the attention of all those around you. Look, at the end of the day, if they're going to be chatting shit and things like this, look, give them something to talk about, I guess. That's what it's saying. But, you know, be passive. Pass gas. Let one go and walk off. You little skunky monkey. Pass one up and walk away. With your tail up. Let them fucking kiss your ass all the way to the bank. No, I'm joking. I don't know why I'm saying these things. I don't know why I'm laughing. I'm going to end this now anyway. But yeah, we've got the narwhal whale. So yeah, mystic unicorn of the sea, endow me the gift of individuality. So yeah, you're just going to be individual. Care less about what it looks like to people. And just respect yourself, making sure that you're managing your fear and your anxieties and your doubts with, I don't know, meditation, with thinking different things. We can all turn 3D into 5D thinking. So it's what we got. So instead of obsessing over something, you're going to detach from it. So instead of waiting for something, you're actually going to live in the moment and live it. So instead of resenting something, you're going to actually gain gratitude for it. And then instead of controlling something, you're actually going to surrender to it. Okay, so laughing fit over. Oh my gosh, that was ooh, goodness, my goodness. Yeah, you'll refine your character by overcoming the difficulties of life. You'll be learning to love yourself more. Okay, learning to love yourself more. This is where the wealth lies, is in the nurturing the potential that you're going to give yourself, okay? You are a light being and you are being told to shine. You are being told to shine at the moment. Choices. So, you know, with this learning to love yourself and allowing your light to shine, even if it's not outwardly, okay, but you're just shining your light inwardly and just making sure that you're not being, you're knowing where your weaknesses lie and you're building boundaries against those weaknesses, okay. This is really important because you're going to rise above the fear. Look, manage fear without armor, be vulnerable. Choices: you choose serenity, light and positive energy no matter what you go through. You choose happiness. You rise above fear and direct your thoughts to God. So maybe this is how you could overcome this as well, okay, by directing your thoughts to God. Give it to God. Let the universe handle it. If it's too much, if you don't know where it's coming from, if you're not sure who, if there's a lot of people against you, give it to God, give it to the universe. Let the universe sort it for you, because I guaranteed your spirit team is going to back you up 100%. And this investigator card being here, there could even be some investigations by the universal law going on anyway with regards to you and your situation. So I wouldn't worry about it too much. All that you've got to worry about is yourself, your own needs, and the way that you're carrying yourself. And that's all that you've got to worry about. So yeah, I'm going to leave that there anyway. It did cut out in the beginning, so I'm not sure what happened there. But yeah. See you later. Bye.